What would change if the emergencies stopped stealing your stability? I'm asking because for a lot of us, security has only ever meant work harder. But what if security could also mean stability? In this episode, we're talking about universal basic income, often called UBI, and its cousins like guaranteed income. And stay with me to the end. I'll share a quick bonus tip you can use today to feel a little more secure without changing a single dollar in your budget. Quick hello, I'm Jane. Welcome to Guts to Grace. Around here, we turn job loss and career pivots into a human-sized path forward. 'Cause guts gets you started, but it's grace that carries you through. If you're new, I've got a free guide called The Edge of Enough. It's short, calming, and it helps you decide what's enough for today, so you don't burn out chasing everything. You can grab it at the link in the description below. Okay, let's start forward. When we hear UBI, many of us picture a government just handing out cash forever. That framing creates instant resistance because it pokes every "I should be able to handle this myself" nerve we have. But the core idea is simpler. Reduce the constant emergencies so people can make better choices. Think less about free money and more about buying back time from chaos. Here's the 30,000-foot view. Universal basic income usually means a regular, unconditional payment to everyone, regardless of employment. Guaranteed income is similar, but often targeted to a group, like parents or people under a certain income. Both sit on a long-term spectrum that already exists in small ways. Alaska residents, for example, have received an annual dividend for decades from the state's oil fund. This is a UBI example. And in recent years, expanded child benefits briefly functioned like a guaranteed income for families. Simple, monthly support that helped with rent, food, and breathing room. The why isn't mysterious. Most people don't spiral because they never worked hard. They spiral because of volatility, the timing of bills versus income. When your car alternator dies the same week, your hours get cut. That's not a character test. That's math. Regular, predictable income, even modest, flattens the spikes. When the spikes flatten, stress drops, and the brain does what it does best: plan, learn, connect, create. There are honest questions to settle. How much? Who gets it? For how long? What's the trade-off? And those questions matter. But notice how different the conversation feels when the North Star is stability, not worthiness. If the purpose is to change the weather, not rank people, our decisions get more practical. What amount actually keeps the lights on? What cadence? Weekly, bi-weekly, monthly? Reduces overdrafts. How do we keep work incentives and also prevent panic? If this is landing and you want a quiet companion for your decision-making, grab The Edge of Enough. It pairs well with today's topic because it helps you name one thing that's enough for this week, so you can stop fighting every battle at once. The link's in the description below. Let's get specific about how GI is designed so you can recognize a good program when you see one, and borrow the helpful parts at home. First, who it's for. GI isn't a program meant for everyone. It's regular, no-strings cash for a clearly defined group, say caregivers, people under a certain income, or residents in one community. Clear rules, reduced red tape and stress. Second, amount and timing. The magic isn't a giant number, it's a predictable number. Programs pick a modest amount and pay it on a steady schedule. Weekly can smooth out grocery and gas. Monthly can line up with rent. The key is the same amount on the same day, so your calendar, not chaos, drives decisions. Third, how the money arrives. Most use direct deposit or a fee-free debit card with an ATM network. Good design means funds land fast, withdrawals don't generate fees, and people without bank accounts can still get the money safely. Fourth, privacy and dignity. Verification should be one-time and light touch. Data is used to improve the program, not to track daily spending. Audits exist, but the tone matters. You're a participant, not a suspect. Fifth, spillovers in the neighborhood. When families aren't in constant emergency mode, money tends to go to local food, local transport, and local childcare, and small businesses feel that. People also pool stability. A shared school run, a swapped shift, a parent who can finally say yes to an evening class. So where does this land if you're in a job-to-joy transition? Maybe not by choice. Here's the reframe I wish more of us had heard sooner. You don't have to wait for a policy to practice stability. You can design a tiny safety net with the tools you already have. Start with your floor, not the dream budget. Instead, the don't burn the house down number, things like the rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, and the phone. Write that number down. Now, smooth the timing. If your bills all crash into week 1, call 2 providers and ask to move due dates to week 3. Most will do it. That one move alone can cut overdrafts and late fees, the exact spikes that steal your focus. Next, set up minimum auto pays, even if it's $20, on the 2 bills that give you the most anxiety. Why minimum? Because every time you manually decide whether to pay, you stir the panic. Minimum auto pay buys you a calmer default, and you can top up manually when the cash is there. If you're between roles, consider a bridge job, not as a step back, but as a stability tool. Choose low stress, close to home, predictable hours. Think 90 days. A bridge buys you consistent cash flow and a calmer brain while you continue the real search. It's not your forever, it's your runway. And don't forget community stability. Brainstorm for just 2 people you can add to your contact list, someone you can text for rides or a pep talk. If that feels too big, start tiny. 1 walk buddy. Try texting your next door neighbor. Want to try a 20-minute walk Friday morning? That's networking. And here's the bonus tip I promised. If you need a little cash flow cushion without new debt, try the sell 1 shelf rule. Pick 1 small area, books you've already read, a kitchen gadget you never use, a camera lens you've outgrown. Photograph it in good light. List it with a simple description and price it to move. Put it up on Craigslist or a community blog like Nextdoor. You're not funding a lifestyle, just creating a micro buffer that breaks the everything is urgent loop. What about you? If your city ran a guaranteed income pilot, what one outcome would matter most to you? Fewer emergencies, more time with family, space to retrain, or simply steadier sleep? Tell me in the comments. Your take might help someone else name what they need. Thanks for spending part of your day with me. If this helped, share it with one friend who's in a transition and could use a calmer plan. You're not starting over. You're starting forward. I'm Jane. Thanks for spending time with me today. I'm grateful you're here, and I love knowing that we're figuring this out together. I'm here while you take the next step. And remember, you're not starting over. You're starting forward. I'll see you next time for What If the Next Chapter is Better Than You Imagine. We'll take this stability thinking and turn it into a hopeful, concrete lens for the next 90 days. See you there.